Hi, guys. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how
I'm
are
welcome
you?
to Powerhouse Michelle Lee, which I am a fan of, I have to say. And I'm sorry about my hair. I'm really sick. So she always keeps me beautiful. I talk about still magnolias at the veranda all the time on my podcast. And she should not be very happy with me looking like this, but I couldn't go in and spread cooties all over your salon. So, welcome. And I appreciate you coming
Thank
on tonight. So excited. And I am inspired by you because you have your hands in everything. And
you.
I first want to kind of know a little background about you. Like, who is Michelle Lee? Where do you come from?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me and you, Scarlett, and your magazine. You do so much for your community, and I don't know if you're thanked enough, but I want you to know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You really go out and you try to help people, and I just love what you do for your community. I love your magazine. I support you, and I
Thank
know that a
you.
lot of other people support you too. So I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to thank you for having me here tonight.
God, no, that means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, who am I? I am Florida. I'm from Florida, born and raised here my entire life. Grew up in Buckingham.
You
So,
did?
yes, right on Eastwood Acres Road, an old
Oh
dirt
my
road.
gosh, I'm on one street over. So,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I lived there my whole life, basically. And my dad was military, so he was pretty strict. And we had horses and pigs and chickens and dogs and you name it. We had a little farm out there. And my dad, there was no sleeping in like there is today. Kids got up at 8 o'clock in the morning and we were made to, clean stalls and bathe horses and take, pick up the eggs and do everything. And, my dad would walk around the house and literally wipe things and go, Michelle, dirt, Michelle, dirt. So, I mean, when I was a
Wow.
kid, I hated it. I'm not going to lie, but I can say that I believe he helped me become the woman I am today.
That's a lot of discipline.
Yes.
And I bet when you were young, though, it wasn't fun at all, though.
No, but he taught me from a very young age the value of a dollar. And I literally probably cleaned for 7 or 8 people on my street for $20 for their whole house. I babysat. I had all kinds of jobs from 13 and up.
Oh, wow. So I love your salon. And I'm talking about there's something about going. I've been to a lot of salons. And I think I told you my story. I quit going because every time I go to the salon, you'd say, my husband is a fanatic about not cutting my hair. And I know I wear my hair up, guys, a lot, but I have very long hair. So my husband does not want me to cut any of my hair off. So when I would go to other places and I'd say, barely trim it. And they'd go, but you need it trimmed. Barely trim it because he'll know. And they just would go and just whack my hair off. And it was so frustrating. So I have to give a shout out to one of your employees, Paula Watson, because I love her and she saved me from well water. She really gave me a hairstyle that I loved. I took a chance with her and let her kind of have free reins. And I'm out in the public eye all the time and I struggle with sales. So if I don't feel good, I get rejected twice and I'm in the bed for a week. So I have to say a big thank you to you guys because you make me feel like $1,000,000 when I leave there and I just feel it in it when I go out and do sales and I just had my hair done. um I think I sell more. I
Yeah.
really do.
Paula's
So
great. Paula is literally, I mean, I have 14 girls that work there, and Paula is really, the backbone to my business. A lot of girls help me. I literally would not be where I am without them. And they're some of my biggest supporters. And, when this app makes it, they are definitely going to feel it. That's for sure. All
now
of
we're
them.
we're
support
gonna
me
go
and help me.
it's pretty impressive. But how did you get started in the salon business?
So my mother was a stylist from the time I think she was 16, and
Wow.
she just retired a few years ago, and she not opened, she worked for Hair Magic off Palm Beach Boulevard
Okay.
in like 1985.
Oh my goodness.
And she ended up buying that salon, and she owned that salon for years. And then me not to be a hairstylist, to be honest with you. I actually went to college for 2 years to be a teacher. And
Really?
yeah, I was so burnt out on college, and because my mom made me go right away, like even summer B, because she was afraid if I didn't go, I wouldn't go. And I
Right.
think because I didn't get a break, and then when I was in school, somebody said to me, you know, you don't want to be a teacher if you're going to have kids, because you're with kids all day and then you have to go home to kids. And I thought, oh my God, that makes sense. That's a perfect reason.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes a perfect reason to quit school. So I quit. And I told my mom I'm going to be a stylist, and she was like, no. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fun. But
why would she not want you to be a stylist though?
I think, you know, maybe because she worked every Saturday of her, you know, it is hard on your body, you know, like your first week out of school,
Standing all
your
the time.
hands are raw from shampooing, your arms and shoulders are so tired because, you know, you're like this all day, every day. I think it's a hard job, but obviously it's come a long way. And I think my mom didn't even realize the opportunities in life when it came to hair. I won a trip to Russia for 14 days, all expense paid, for doing hair. And I got to choose one person to go with me, and I took my mother. And that was probably one of the best trips we've ever been on.
Wow.
So
you're a big traveler.
Oh, I love to travel. That's the only time I get to like really kumbaya and shut everything off.
And you're very spiritual too.
Yes, very. Yes, yeah. I was raised in church, and, you know, I know that people believe in a bunch of different things, but I believe in God wholeheartedly. I believe that, you know, there was a man that walked the face of this earth that did amazing things at one point, and people didn't like what he did, and, you know, he was nailed to the cross to save our sins. And I feel like he's gotten me where I am today. And I'm blessed that my mom raised me that way, because, you know, it always gave me something to fall back on. And all my friends over the years that maybe didn't believe or were on the fence, I'm like, really, what do you have to lose? I mean, everything in the Bible talks about positive stuff, you know, respect your mother and father and love one another. It's not, you know, crazy. And if you die and it wasn't true, what did you lose? Nothing. So
absolutely. Yeah. Now I know, you know, one thing is about your salon. I think that your salon probably knows every secret or everything about my marriage, my animals, my job. Like poor Paula, you know, Angie, I tell them everything. Why is that? Why do you think people, when they come into a hair salon, that they just like spill their guts? I've heard more stories, like all of us get involved in somebody else's story, and like the whole salon is involved giving advice. It's pretty amazing.
I don't know if people realize this, but it is a proven fact that people will tell their hairstylist more than they will tell their psychologist. And we used to actually have a psychologist that came to work for the hair company Matrix. And he would travel around. And the reason that he wanted to work for the hair company was because he said, I didn't ever realize the impact that stylists had on, you know, people, because he said somebody came into his office and he said, you know, did you take my advice? Did you do what I said? And she said, well, no, actually, I did what my stylist told me to do. And he said he heard this so much that he couldn't believe that people confide in their stylist. And he told us this story that was heartbreaking. And I believe that we touch many hearts and many souls, because, you know, there's only 5 industries that actually physically touch people. And, you know, sometimes elderly people or widowed people come in, and we're able to give them a head massage that feels really great.
And you give great ones. You give great ones.
I do. I concentrate hard on that. And I feel like, it really makes an impact on the individual. And he gave a story of this lady that came to a salon, and, it was 5 o'clock, and a lot of the stylists, are ready to leave. And these two stylists decided to stay. And one stylist did her hair and one stylist did her nails. And she was very grateful. And she literally wrote the salon a letter 2 weeks later and said, I just want you to know that the only reason I came and got my hair and nails done that night was because I was actually going to commit suicide.
Oh my
But
God.
because your girls made me feel so loved and, beautiful, that I changed my mind. And I believe
wow.
that that's the impact that stylists have on people. And we really make a difference. And I've lived a very gratifying life making people feel beautiful and seeing somebody come in a really low mood and just lifting their spirits because they feel good about themselves and they feel beautiful. And I think it's very important.
Oh my gosh, that's touching. I'm talking about you don't think about that, but I know that I've been at some lowest of my lows sometime, and it has taken me to go to the salon to try to lift myself up. So I can relate to that. Like, I'm talking, sometimes you get so depressed or you just feel you're overwhelmed, and going there and just being at the salon and you walk out with a different outlook. It is amazing. And I'm sorry, like I said, I'm sick, so I'm really sorry that I have to keep using my tissue. I didn't think I was going to make it through, but
and I mean, you would, people do tell us everything. I mean, I had a client right before I kind of stopped doing hair. She was a very dear client to me, and she always, would be going through stuff and her spirits would be down, and she got up front to check out and tears just started rolling down her face. And she said, I'm so grateful that you were here and you didn't stop doing hair yet. She goes, you were everything I needed. She said, you're the only person that lifts me up. And it's crazy to think that you give that much impact to somebody, but stylists make a huge difference in this world.
Let's see. That's Solitaire Kellerman says stylists radiate positive energy, and being a stylist, I could say many of them are empathy's clients feel safe in a stylist space. I believe that 100%. Now, do you think, like, do men do the same thing, or is it just us women? Do men come in there and talk about stuff, or?
Let me tell you, I know more. Absolutely. I know more. A man will tell, this is sad, but it's very true. A man will tell his stylist more than he will tell his wife. He will tell you what he doesn't like about his wife. He will tell you what he wished she did or didn't do. Some men will really, and I mean, I've had men where I am cutting the man's hair and I also cut his wife's hair, and they're both cheating on each other, and I know it, but they don't know it.
Oh my gosh.
And that's hard. That's really hard.
And you have to keep that. You like,
yes, or you have, you're doing one lady's hair and you're doing another lady's hair and you're doing the husband's, but the husband is sleeping with the wife's friend. And you can't say anything. You know what I mean? It's like your hands are tied.
Oh my gosh. I never thought about that.
And I'm a very, like I tell my girls, so my mom was always a little bit rough around the edges versus me, as far as like telling people. And we were always very strict about the girls conversing about other people in the area to their clients, right? Like, oh, did you hear so-and-so? Because my mom literally would come up to you and say, you were just talking about my client's daughter and the mother sitting in my chair, which wasn't true. She really wasn't, but she would tell the girls that because she was like, well, it wasn't true, but it could be.
Yeah, trying to teach them a lesson. I think if I was a hairstylist and I did the husband's hair and then I did his wife and a mistress, I think somebody's coming out with a bad hair job. I'd be like, oops. Like, you ever want to just do that to somebody?
Well, you don't know, like.
Solitaire said you got her with that one.
My mom probably got her with that one, I'm sure. You never know the whole story. You know what I mean? And not that it's right or wrong by any means. but I don't ever try to talk about somebody when I haven't watched news, because
Right.
you just never know what they're going through. And we all go through different phases in our life. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we're not proud of. And, you know, all we can do is hope that we learn from them, really.
Well, your place is great. And I'm talking about that's got to be like, how do you go home and leave everything at the salon?
Oh my God, I've been there so long. You know, we've been open 18 years, and I can tell you
18
what,
years.
yeah,
Right there in the veranda?
right there in the veranda.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you're
So,
from Buckingham. You've been there for 18 years. I'm like, this blows my mind. That's something I didn't know about you, that you were
yeah.
literally my neighbor at one time.
Yeah. And I graduated from Riverdale High School right down the road.
Wow.
So,
My husband's
I
daughter went to Riverdale.
did she?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I've never really had a bad day at work. Being a hairstylist is fun, and you don't really have bad days, you know, like I can't honestly say, I mean, when I was in my younger days, I literally could go out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and no matter what, I knew I had to be to work at 8. People are counting on you. People, you know, you can't cancel on your clients. They can cancel on you and they can show up late,
No,
but you better not cancel on them, because,
no,
you know, it's
no,
a
it's
wrap.
important because, that's one thing that I love about Paula is that um, I'm very bad because I'll call like right before I have an event or something, like something important, and then I'm not a procrastinator. I just guess I don't know, I'm a procrastinator, but I call her and she literally will come in early for me to fix whatever I need. She'll do it for me, and I can
Paula,
honestly say your salon has been the best. And I talk about you all the time on my podcast about your salon because it is a special place, and I'm not just saying that. I'm talking about just because I'm not
yeah,
just saying that. I really like your salon. It feels like even they're like my buddies in there. They're my good friends. When I go in there, I chit chat with Angie. I chit chat with everyone. I feel so comfortable there. I'm talking about, it's funny because, like I was telling you, maybe a client's going through something and they're in the chair, and then we hear it, and then we're all chiming in, giving advice. It's just a great place. I
yeah.
love the remodeling you've done in there. I'm talking,
Thank you.
you've really done a good job. And when
Thank
you
you.
walk in the door, I notice you're selling a lot of stuff when you come in there. Where did the clothes come from? The shirts?
We buy from boutiques. Like, if we know a small business or somewhere where we can, you know, help another small business. I love to help small businesses, entrepreneurs like myself. So if I can ever get anything and let people sell it in there, or I'll buy some of their merchandise to sell it in there, really just unique boutiques, basically.
Right. Now, I call you a powerhouse entrepreneur, and you have your hands into everything. And one thing I'm really fascinated about you is that I asked you about changing your ad one day. Hey, do you want to change up your ad? And you hit me with the matchmaking. And I go, wait a minute, we're talking about a salon. Like, where did matchmaking come from? I'm talking about you have Michelle Lee matchmaking, and you tell me about this. Like, I'm curious.
So, you know, my mom was a stylist her whole life. And the lady that she worked for, that was kind of like my grandmother, um, she was a stylist literally until she was like 90 something, I believe. And, you know, I already have like shoulder issues, and I love to travel, as you know.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm really wanting to get from behind the chair. What can I do that I can travel the world and still make a huge difference in people's lives, but not be tied to the salon? And matchmaker popped in my head like a little bubble. And I literally remember thinking, matchmaker? Like, why would I be a matchmaker? I don't even know that that exists. And I think it was because organically, I would, you know, if you were single and I had Bob that was single, I would be like, oh my God, I have this great lady,
Trying to
Scarlett.
set
And
up your friends.
would you like to meet Scarlett? Yeah, because I would always feel bad, like they were widowed or they were sad, and I would like try to hook them up. And then
And
this
you know
one
all
lady
these
in
people because they come into your salon and you already
yes,
know. That's awesome.
yes. So then this one client in particular broke my heart. She was gorgeous and she was in her 60s. And long story short, because it's very long, but she was very depressed. And I said, oh my God, go on an online dating site. Like you'll get to talk to a bunch of different people. And, you know, at least you won't be bored at night. And she literally was like, okay, great idea. So she goes, she meets this great guy. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I need you to make me extra beautiful. So I was so excited just as much as she was. She came back a couple weeks later and she's like, oh, he wasn't able to make it. It fell through, but he's coming this weekend. So it's like, okay. So I done her, you know, made her all gorgeous again. She came back again. She was like, oh, something else happened. By the third time, I was like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? She's like, oh, yes, I'm sure. So 6 months went by and I didn't see her. And she came back and she sat in my chair and tears just started rolling down her face. And this guy had ripped her off for over $200,000.
Oh my gosh.
And really, when I thought about the matchmaking company, I was like, what could I do? So when I thought about it, I literally researched every single matchmaker that I felt was of power. I researched them in and out. And I was like, what can I bring to the table that other matchmakers don't do? And I thought the one thing that not all of them do is I run a background check and a credit report on every single client.
Oh, you do?
So that I can, yes, so that I can ensure a safe, quality date. So I feel like that set me apart from some other matchmakers.
And how long have you been doing the matchmaking?
I believe this is like my 3rd year.
And what's your success rate? My husband does that to me all the time, so don't worry. My husband likes to open up my door and he peeks through the door and he'll go, and I've got to read his lips. So it's perfectly fine. We're at home here.
First time ever, actually.
So I'm curious. Do you have to be wealthy or no?
No, you don't have to be wealthy. You just have to be quality.
Quality. So I'm going to ask you this. So what are men looking for mostly in a woman? What do you think that from your clients?
Men are looking for?
Yeah. What are they looking for? Because they're can't figure them out.
So there's different. Honestly, there's some men that want somebody that like doesn't work, that can just wait on them hand and foot. There's some men, more lately, a lot of men want a woman to bring something to the table. They want them to, you know, not still live at home or have 8 kids by, you know, several different people. Yes. Or they just want them to be a quality woman, have a decent job, and bring something to the table. And, you know, unfortunately, that is hard to find.
Right. No, I totally agree. I'm married. I'm very happy. But it took me a long time. It literally took me a long time to find my partner, my human, that can put up with me. Because I'm a handful. I can only imagine you being a handful, but I'm a handful too. So
I don't know how mine puts up with me, because I know that everyone in my family basically says that I micromanage everything, and I'm really working on that. I am really working on that.
It's funny you bring that up, because I have the same problem. I have people tell me all the time, Scarlett, if you would just delegate some things, but it's hard for me to let go, because not saying that I'm perfect, but in my mind, I think I'm perfect. And in my mind, I know exactly what I'm doing, but I don't like when someone makes a mistake on my stuff. I don't. And it upsets me. But I try to act like it really didn't bother me, but I'll just like slide back in there and take over the job. But I have that same problem too. I'm a perfectionist. And It's hard.
It is hard.
It's really hard.
I had an aha moment. I was at my mother's house a few weeks ago. She moved to Avon Park, and I drive up there once a week and see her. And I was making her tacos, and she was like, "Michelle, do you know, put this here?" Like, she was telling me how to put the meat on it. I'm like, Mom, I'm 40, almost 49 years old. I clearly know how to make tacos. And she was like micromanaging the whole thing. And I literally was like, oh my God, is this how I am? It was driving me crazy.
Of your environment.
And when my husband makes food or pork chops or something, I'll be like, are you sure? Did you do this? And he'll be like, are you cooking or am I cooking? Like, leave my kitchen.
Right.
So that day I text him and I'm like, I'm really sorry if I do this to you. And I said, I'm going to stop. And he's like, I don't believe you're going to stop. And I love you anyway, but you know.
Oh my gosh. Now, are we going to get to meet him?
You are going to get to meet him.
Okay. You let me know when he's ready and we'll get to meet him. But besides the matchmaking, I'm sitting there one day and you tell me that another business, and you start telling me, let's see, we got Crystal Ward said hi, and she said that the atmosphere in your salon feels warm and welcoming. And let's see, Emmeline Hernandez said, let me find out you're almost 49. Beautiful.
Well, not really, like 6 months, but still.
6 months? Hey.
I'm like dreading the moment.
Oh, you shouldn't, because you are beautiful. You're aging gracefully. I'm talking about, and I think that all comes from within. Like, you're a beautiful person inside and out. And I'm talking about, I am one of your biggest fans. I'm telling you.
I do believe that beauty, definitely, when you're more of a positive person and you put up positive energy, I truly believe that you live longer and you're healthier and you're more vibrant. And, you know, maybe the reflection of that helps you not or age gracefully, right. I should say.
We were talking earlier about me being sick, and you had mentioned to me, hey, you were going to send something to me. Don't forget to send that to me.
I won't.
And I'm talking about,
I drive my friends crazy with that too. I'm like, oh my God, you're sick. Let me send you something.
Okay. So don't forget me about that, because I went to bed last night perfectly fine. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to swallow and I go, no, like, what was that? And I swallowed again. I go, my throat hurts. But I told my son on Saturday, I took my grandkids, went with him to Sky Zone. And right when I walked in that place, I could feel the germs like looking at me and going, you're next. And he thought I was full of it. But have you been to Sky Zone?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, great place for the kids, but great place for the little germs to be like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty bummed about that, because I got a lot going on and I did not need to get sick, but now I am. So I will get through it, and you're going to help me get through that, and I will let you know how that works out. But let's get back to it. I'm sitting in your chair. You tell me about this app that you have, and I thought you were brilliant, because there are so many times, and it's called Right Now, right?
Yes, Right Now.
So you're telling me about the concept of this app, and it's like Scarlett needs to get her tire changed, and I want it right now. I need it right now. I can go on this app, and you will have providers that are all part of it, and I can go get my tire changed without waiting for 4 hours or waiting for an appointment. I can go get my hair done right now.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
So I do consider myself a serial entrepreneur. People that know me, like, I can't help it, but my brain doesn't stop. And me and my husband were up late one night, and it's funny because we don't really know exactly how it came up, but we drew it out on paper and filed it in a filing cabinet. And I literally was trying to get my nails done on a Monday, and I had like 2-hour gap, and I couldn't find a nail salon, and I was so frustrated. And I was like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous that I got to call all these different places. I just wish I could go to one place and book me an appointment. And then the app popped in my head again. And I was like, oh my God, let me see if I can find the drawings to this app that we drew 5 years ago. So I
Oh my
literally
gosh.
started looking for it and I found it. And, an app is a big deal, right? So I don't know anything about apps. I know how to make hair color. And I needed to find a co-founder desperately because even if I hired my own app developer, I wouldn't know if he was telling me gibberish or not, right?
And
Because
it's
I don't
not
know
cheap
anything.
to make an app. I've looked into it for the magazine. It's not
and it
cheap.
is not cheap. So I was looking for a co-founder and I found this amazing man in Naples, Rick Warda, and his precious wife, Crystal. And he met me and I was like, oh my God, he's not going to work with me, because he was like, look, I'm going to be honest. He's worked for a bunch of different companies and he's taken them to, the heights of their corporation, millions and billions of dollars. And he was like, I've met people that I've partnered up with and I'm always the one working and they don't bring, what they say they're going to bring to the table. And then, it's a bust deal and we've spent all this money. And I said, look, all I can do is tell you that I'll work harder than anyone you've ever met in your life to make this happen. And I got a call from him a couple days later and he said, I can tell you this. He said, there's something about your aura and your energy that I don't think I've met anybody quite like you. So I'm willing to do it. So we partnered up and he's actually our co-founder, our partner, him and his wife, in the Right Now app. And he helped us hire a team of people to build the app, and it's in the building process. But basically this app is, like you said, it's like Amazon, but personal and home services. It's anything you want within 3 hours. So
within 3 hours.
Within 3 hours.
Okay.
So if you go to the app and you want your hair done, it'll pull up all the hairstylists in your area that are available to service you within the next 3 hours. It'll show you that they're licensed. It'll show you their Facebook reviews, their Google reviews. You actually pay through the app and then you go to your appointment. If you want your car detailed or your boat detailed or your lawn mowed or your windows clean or your car windows tinted or you need a plumber or you need an electrician, everything within the app. The app has not launched yet. It will probably not launch until
we got people interested
the end of May. Yeah, the end of May or early June. But I've decided that we're really not going to launch it until we're 100% ready, because I don't allow things to fail. Like
the perfectionist is coming out.
Yeah, like failure is not even a remote option
Right.
for me. So we are currently looking for providers that, if somebody just opened their own lawn company or their pool company or their new hairstylist,
it's a no-brainer. I'm talking about for me,
yeah,
business, it's a no-brainer. I'm talking about, but how do you make sure like they can provide that service within 3 hours? What would you do?
How it works, let's say that a plumber gets stuck at your house and he accepted a job later, which really they have two ways. The provider on the back end, they have where they can put in their schedule for the week. So it'll pop up automatically that they have nothing on Tuesday and they would show up as available. Or they can toggle a button that says I'm available or I'm not available. So let's say that you're a plumber and you have a job, you could toggle your button, I'm not available, because you're at your job. The minute you've completed that job, you can toggle your button, I'm available. So then you will show up in the feed that you are available and that you are able to be booked. Now, let's say, God forbid, he goes to that job and it takes longer than he expected and he was live for some reason. As long as he communicates to the next person that he's still coming to the job, he'll get paid. But what happens is, if you put your credit card information in and you did not get your service for some reason, your funds are released by midnight to where the person does not get paid.
I'm just curious. I have to ask that question, but as a business owner, I'm talking about people need to jump on this right now, because I tell people that all the time about certain things. Like, okay, for instance, my Florida Country TV. I'm in the same boat as you are, because It's not where I want it, so I'm not going to release my first episode until it is. And my buddy Charlie Lopez and I and Triple M Productions will have it done, and it's going to be awesome. But it's not coming out until I am fully. It's my first episode. It's got to, be right. So I totally get where you're coming from on that, and it's so important with business today. But this app is going to be a game changer. And if any businesses are out there, how do they get a hold of you?
So they can go to getrightnowapp. Getright.app. I'm sorry, get.app. And they can pre-register as a provider, and that will send them updates of when the app actually drops. And basically, anybody who, and what's cool is, other companies that sell leads, we're not selling leads. We are not getting paid one dime unless you got paid. So we're not taking anything unless you actually get a job. So really, business owners have nothing to lose. They're going to get money and get paid right now today. And as far as you as the customer, you're not paying anything. You're going to use our app as a service.
Yeah, you're connecting customers with real-time services, and you are giving the customer, the providers, a service to access to other customers being part of this app. Now I can kind of see the transition from the salon, because before I was kind of thinking like, wow, you're just out there in these different, but it all kind of goes together. The salon, the matchmaking with people, and now you're putting customers with real-time services. So I don't know. Where's your husband at?
Well, everybody says, Bobby, you want to dial in? Everybody says, when I tell them about the app, they're like, they say, is it a dating app? Is it a dating app? I'm like, no, it's not a dating app. It has nothing to do with a dating app. But I will
different people. Emmeline, I hope I'm saying her name right. Emmeline, she says that it's a brilliant idea, and it's exciting to know in 3 hours she can get her service. And then Tessa says Michelle is absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm talking about, I even go and I see Bill, the Botox guy. They love you. I'm talking, they all love you over there. It's
well, I will tell you this. I've been here my whole life, right? So I feel like you get a lot of slack, but people that truly know me, yes, love me. But again, I wouldn't have made any of this possible without my mom and the girls at the salon. My daughter, thank God, Bailey, just joined my matchmaking company, and she has taken so much off my plate that has freed up my time for the app. And my husband, are you joining?
Come on,
he
Bobby.
Said he's trying to. He said he's trying to join.
I'm known for my coffee cups on my podcast. It says maybe it's whiskey, maybe it's not, everything. So my daughter got me a new cup for my podcast, and it says enjoy the journey. So Jessica, I'm enjoying the journey.
He's gonna try to dial in from my phone. But
well, I can't wait to meet him and everyone to meet him, because he's got to be a special guy.
To put it with me.
Yes. I think he's here. There we have Bobby. How are you?
I'm doing fantabulous. How are you?
I'm good. Now, I got a question. How do you put up with Michelle? Or maybe that's not the right word. How do you deal with a woman like Michelle?
I ask myself that same question, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But she deals with me too, so we're kind of both equal.
He's Bobby's locked up, but I can still hear him.
Yeah, why are you frozen? Do you sure you don't want to try from my phone?
I mean, I don't know.
He's locked up and he can't get out.
Frozen.
I hate when that happens.
That used to be my old song, but I don't.
It's so weird because I can hear your voice, but you're all locked up. Oh, here he comes. Okay, there.
Let's see.
Yay!
Oh, all right. Let's fix that.
Don't go with the feedback.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall back.
Yeah.
How about
Walk away from the other one. So, what's it like being married to Michelle?
Oh my goodness. You know when you get on the let's say you go to Best Buy, right? And you're checking out a brand new computer, and when you get there, there's a bunch of windows open,
Uh,
and I mean like a ton of them, to where it slows the computer down. That's what it's like being with my
it's,
wife.
it's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
a bunch of
she's a bunch
open
of
at
windows open.
the time.
oh, wow. Yeah, I'm a very demanding woman myself. So it takes my husband's very laid back. And he calms me down at times. And so I know what it's like being a demanding woman that likes to have everything her way. And, what's mine is, or what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. So I kind of understand all that. Um, so you're part of this app too. What's that like? We lost him again. Did he freeze up again? Poor Bobby.
Bobby, take your mute off.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened to him.
We lost Bobby.
He'll probably dial back on.
Okay,
But
we'll let him back on when he gets.
yeah, I know I drive him crazy. He actually just weeks ago, he said, is there a way we can come up with a time that you're off your laptop? And I said, I said, what time are we talking? Because usually we get up at 5 or 5:30 and we make coffee, and I'm telling her how you said, is there a way, you can get off your laptop at 8:00 at least? He gave me 8:00. So go ahead and finish the story.
All right. I don't know where the story was, but I was kind of muted out for the whole thing. But yeah, so basically, like I was saying, it's a bunch of windows open all at the same time, and at the end of the night, I hit Control Alt Delete and wipe them all out. So that's basically how we deal with that.
It's tough. I'm telling you, that's got to be tough. Like, I have a problem with that myself. In fact, my husband tells me all the time, he hates when I take my cell phone to dinner. He hates it. And
oh my goodness.
I can tell, like, you have the same issues. Like, he wants me to turn it off. Like, I work in my sleep. So I'm still dictating in my sleep who's doing what. And my husband tells me, like, honestly, I really do that. I'm still, giving orders and stuff. And I said, well, at least I'm taking a break from you. So I'm not giving him orders. But it is tough to kind of decompress. But, how do you do that? Like, get away from work and now it's family time. I'm talking about you have to put in, some type of parameters for that. Poor Bobby.
Are you talking to me? Oh, he lost you again. For me, are you asking him how I shut down, or yeah?
Yeah. How do you, first for you, Michelle, how do you walk out the door, walk into home, and it's Bobby time? It's family time.
Oh, it's not.
Right.
It's not. I mean, it's not. I would be lying if I told you it was. Now, we did just recently start something where we'll leave our phone in the car when we're going to dinner so that we can actually be present with each other, which is really hard. Yeah, because, well, trust me, I'm worried that my daughter or my kids, my sons need me.
Emergency.
Or it's gonna happen. Yeah. But
he rolls his eyes.
At night, I literally sometimes am on my laptop until 10 o'clock. He did ask me a couple weeks ago, could I make the time like 8 o'clock? I think we had the conversation, but I'm not sure that I ever followed through.
Right.
I'm not on it every night.
Hasn't, but yeah.
It's important though, right, Bobby? I'm telling you, it is important that you have that family time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like even for myself, like I work construction or whatnot, and a lot of the times they're wanting guys to work on the weekends, and I'm like, no, that's my family time. So at the end of the day, there's not to me, there's not enough money in the world to take away from my family time. So we got to make that happen.
Yeah, because I'm talking about that's what my husband said. He says, what are you going to take with you when you're gone? Like, he doesn't want memories of us. And he worries about me because I do work a lot. I'm talking about right now, we're getting the magazine to print. I'm working at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's hard for me to shut that down. But like my husband said, like, he doesn't want memories of us because we love each other so much that he doesn't want memories of me always being in my office working. And I thought about going to get an office so I can go, because since COVID, I'm working at home all the time in my home office, and I probably won't ever go back into a building. But if I did, he said, now you'll leave that office and you'll come home and walk back into your office at home. So I'm not going to pay for office space for you just to keep working. But, you know, with you being in the matchmaking
I like your
business
husband.
and everything,
Sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, I'm telling you, you both have the same. Like, it's important for him. You know, he hates technology. He doesn't even know how to turn a computer on. He doesn't want to know how to
The
turn
sad
a
part
computer
is I do. Like, I'm very tech savvy, but I don't know how to explain to do things. Like, my wife is always like, "Oh, will you explain how to do this?" And I'm like, I really can't. I could just do it because I know how to do it, but the
So
explanation eludes me.
I'm gonna read what Antonio Torres said. So many times it's so hard to find a good business for the services you need. I personally depend on word of mouth a lot. This app will save so much time, especially with the reviews and the fast access to services needed, especially if you're new to town. Can't wait. It's definitely a game changer for us. So, Bobby, you're a big part of this app. Like, you and Michelle are in there. You write down ideas, you put it away, and it comes back up. Like, I don't know
Well, I
what
heard
type
you
of
ask
business
her
you're
how
in.
it came up the first time, and she wasn't 100% dead on it.
Okay, you
Originally,
tell your side.
how I remember it going, we were actually in the Walmart parking lot, and I was telling her about an idea for an app for like getting your groceries, as far as like maybe ordering your groceries before you get to Walmart, because I always hated going into Walmart and there's 30 registers but only 2 of them open. So I was like, well, why don't we just cut the registers out the equation and have your order already picked out and paid for?
Now, this is before
And
Instacart and all this stuff.
yeah, this is way before
Yeah.
all
Oh my gosh, you missed the
that.
boat.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh
So
my
I was
gosh. You know
like,
what?
oh my God. We both looked at each other like we just literally came out with this like right before it happened.
Oh
So
my gosh.
meanwhile, we've had this whole right now in the back burner or whatnot for quite some ever since way before, like I said, the Instacart thing happened. And I forget what it was that prompted us to bring it back into life now, but
No,
yeah,
it's
that was
brilliant. It is a brilliant
hard.
app, and I think that you guys are going to do very well, because when you told me about it that day, Michelle, I thought, oh my gosh, there's like, I want it now, like right now. That's how that's what kind of person I am. So I just think that businesses should jump on this. Like, they really should jump on this, because if they get it now, you wait after you get going and becoming very successful,
You
it's
know
going to
what?
be a whole different thing later.
Oh yeah. You know what I love about it is, especially the generation that we're in, a lot of people want to work for themselves. And I love that people have an opportunity to start a business and have business right away, right now, right? Because there's always somebody that wants something right now. And
Yes.
if you just opened a pool company, right? Let's say you worked for Bob's Pools for 20 years and you've always wanted to do your own thing. Well, you can open a pool company and have business right now today. You can become a dog walker right now today. You can become a cleaning lady. Somebody is going to want their house cleaned right now. What's so annoying about Facebook is we all post, right?
Uh-huh.
Does anybody know somebody that can come wash my car today. What happens?
We're always
20
recommendations.
20 people. Yeah, 20 people pop up with everybody they know. Well, you still have to reach out to every single one of those people, look at their pictures, see whose price. On the app, you will be able to see exactly what every single person charges.
Right.
It'll just pop up. Michelle charges this for highlights. Solitaire charges this for highlights.
So the prices will be on there.
The prices are right there.
Oh, I'm talking. That's even better.
You click and you pay, and you get it done within 3 hours.
So, is there like any type? What type of businesses do you think would benefit the most from this app?
So I think any personal or home services that can provide a service within the next 3 hours. So is it going to be your busy plumber who has work for days? No, not unless he's a busy plumber that can do what I do and think outside of the box and think, oh my God, let me hire this other plumbing guy that's a really great plumber, and I'll pay him $30 an hour, and he can just work the Right Now app. And then I'm making money 2 ways. Now I get it. Not a lot of people think outside of the box, right?
Right.
And this app won't be for everybody, but this app will be for the entrepreneur who needs money right now and who's trying to grow his book of business right now.
Right. Now, what kind of advice, because you have been into so many things, I'm talking, what advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur who's afraid to step out of their comfort zone?
I would tell them that, nothing is created from fear, right? And I believe that the app will do great, but anything that I've ever done in my life, I told you before, failure wasn't really an option. Now, yes, some things have failed, but I always know that there's going to be something else. And I think that being true to who you are, never giving up, and being positive in every situation, and just, giving something everything you have. Nobody can take that away from me, right? Because I'm the one that is in charge of working hard to make this happen. And I think just, being kind and being positive and true to who you are and being loyal to the people that are loyal to you. And, people are going to support you. There are going to be people that don't support you, and that is unfortunate, but they're not your people.
They're jealous. I'm
sure that's part of it.
I'm talking about, because like I said, you're an amazing person. So anyone that's not there supporting you, why? I'm talking about, and in the world that we live in today, you're so right. Like, it's so important to just be a genuine good person, and you are. I got to ask you one question, Bobby, because I'm going to backtrack a little bit. What did you think when she started a matchmaking business? I want to know, like, what went through your mind?
At first, I was like, maybe she's a little crazy because, what works for us isn't exactly something that can work for everybody else. You know what I mean? But when she boils it down to like compatibility and everything like that, it makes sense. And she's always, ever since I've known her, she's always been a person that always wanted to help people, and she's never, I don't think I can honestly say one time that she's ever turned anyone down that's ever asked her for any kind of help, regardless of what it is.
Right.
So it made sense to me that she would want to do that. And at the end of the day, like, I'm going to support her in whatever she wants to do.
So what do you think to you? What is your favorite quality of Michelle?
I would definitely, it's one of my favorite. It's a favorite and a bad way to say it, because she just never stops. You know what I mean? She's very persistent, and depending on what it is, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Right. I'm talking that comes from your upbringing, though, probably a lot, don't you think, Michelle?
Definitely that. Like I could like the other day, I could be laid up in my bed because my back is hurt. And if I'm not in a full body cast, my wife is like, I need you to do this, you do that. This.
Oh my gosh, I wish my husband was on here right now because he would just be like, y'all would have like a bromance going on right now. I'm telling you.
You know what cracks me up
Does
about
he
what
like
he just said?
Fishing?
Is what cracks me up about what he just said is I have stylists for years that have tagged me in flipped cars in like a snowstorm and
you still better get to work.
And they would tag me in it.
You're like, are you
because
injured?
Say, well, what time will you be here?
Yeah. Is there any injury?
I've had girls
to work.
Yeah, or I've had girls say, I had a girl tell me, oh, I can't come because of this. And I'm like, great, I'll come pick you up.
Well, maybe that right
Not a
now
problem.
app will help because if they flip the car and start, like, I need to have a tow truck right now.
Yeah, like Hurricane Ian could put the car on top of the roof of the house, and she'd be like, well, can you stick 2 boards on each side of the tires and just drive off? Because, like, I feel like we can make that happen.
Oh my! Right now.
I always find a way, and I don't close my business because I have mouths to feed. The people that work with me have mouths to feed.
Yeah, you were back up, and you were helping people. I'm talking about after the hurricane. I just found that amazing. Like, you got back up, and you were opening your doors, and you were giving free haircuts.
Yeah,
the linemen, yeah.
I'm talking about that's for the linemen. I have to clarify that, but yes, I'm talking about it. I wish you.
Well, and I think some people were like, "Oh my God, why are you opening?" And I'm like, "You may say, why are we opening?" But I have single moms that work for me. They need their income, and if we have people willing to come to the salon and they don't have water and they want their hair washed, or we were giving free shampoos, but obviously we give amazing head massages, right? So
yes,
they were
lucky.
They had
I have to say, like, I want to go to sleep when she does.
Yeah,
I had one of mine, but I'm going to let that slide for now.
Yeah, and people were tipping them generously because they were there, and it was beautiful to watch the community come together.
We've gone through a lot since Hurricane Irma, because I know this is when I started the magazine. I started the magazine, and then Hurricane Irma came, and it seems like every year we've had to deal with something. But even COVID, like, that put a hurting on you guys. Like, that's what you have to keep working. You're stylists. You have to keep your people working. They rely. That's their income. So
yeah,
hats off to you, Michelle. And I'm telling you, I can't wait to see where you and Bobby go, where this app goes. I'm going to be there with you. Like, I'm not only your business colleague, you're a friend. And I wish you the best. I appreciate you coming on tonight. I'm talking about, we've had so many people that have just been sitting here and have literally watched the whole show. And that's hard to do on podcasts, to keep them watching the show. So you have a lot of fans, and I see from the comments people wishing you the best, and I wish you the best. And Bobby, I'm telling you, we got to go have dinner because my husband's got to come, because I'm telling you, you two think just alike. And Michelle, you and I are so much alike, and I think that's why
I am open for anytime you let me know.
Awesome, because I can't wait, because I will be up there. As soon as I get feeling better, I'm going to be crashing your salon again.
So before we get off, I just want to do shout outs to you again for having us on. I want to, another lady that really helped me through my whole matchmaking process was Maria, and I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce her last name, but she's a matchmaker out of New York. She really, really, really helped me learn the ropes of matchmaking. She is a world-renowned matchmaker. You can look her up. She has her own Ask the Matchmaker. Really cool. And then, of course, Bobby, I'm not going to lie, since day one, he literally has supported me through every crazy idea. My mother,
Yes.
my biggest fan, my biggest
She just
cheerleader.
said Michelle is so awesome. I'm her mom.
I can't see comments, but
Oh,
my
you
mom,
can't.
no, but my mom literally, you know, she's literally my best friend. When I tell you, I could tell you stories that would crack you up. I had this guy, I'll tell you one quick story because it's hilarious.
Go ahead. We're not
I
on
had-
any time. Like when we end, we end.
Oh, okay.
This is mine. There's
So,
nobody telling
my
me when I
mom
have to go.
So my mom is so crazy. I had this guy who was kind of obsessed with me, didn't leave me alone. And I was like, Mom, you know how you have like that deep voice? Like you've got to use it. Like I need you to just pretend like you are, you know, a guy and tell him to leave me alone. And she was like, hey, she doesn't want to talk to you. You understand me? And she like acted like a guy and he believed her. But my mom is, again, my very best friend, my supporter. She supports me in everything I do. And she's my biggest cheerleader. She's the reason I am the woman I am today. I love her dearly.
My mom too.
My daughter supports me. Like I said, she helps me with my matchmaking company. I have 2 boys, William and Blake, who love me to pieces and support me, and they drive me crazy, but they love me. And then of course, all the girls at the salon.
Your granddaughter.
Oh my God, my granddaughter is my everything. Penelope. She's my world, really. If I'm sad, all I have to do
when she's there.
is look at her. Yes. And then I will tell you, in the last couple years where I really felt like my life started to change because I really started to work on the inner me, I did meet this lady.
William Hawkins says, "Love you, Mom."
Oh yeah, he's my 22-year-old son, and I have a 16-year-old son. I don't know where he is tonight, but it's funny because
not the 16-year-old.
Yeah, my 22-year-old son is 5'9" or 5'10", and my 16-year-old son is 6'5".
Holy cow, sounds
So,
like mine.
The towering difference. But I wanted to do a shout out because this is a lady, Tessa Greenspan, and she wrote this book, Outhouse to Penthouse. And when I read this book,
I gotta write this down.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. She's a beautiful person. I believe there's probably gonna be a movie that comes out about this book, but she reminds me so much of myself in this book. She went through trials and tribulations, and she just, again, reminded me so much of me and pushing through. But I will tell you one thing that I picked up from her that I loved. And like Bobby said, she said, Michelle, because my kids, I will tell you, my kids tell me, oh my God, you're always working. You're always working. You're always on your phone. So because of Tessa, I am trying. It's been, I think we've done it twice, but my son, William, we are going out to lunch once a week and just having quality time, no phones. And then also my son, Blake, and then also my daughter. So I'm trying to do that. Today he pulled me, he's like, come have lunch. And I'm like, oh my God, I just went to this meeting all day. I haven't really been able to work. And he's like, come eat with me.
These are all memories you can't replace. Like no matter how hard we work, you can't replace those special moments. My son, my youngest son, which is almost 30 now, but he gets on to me all the time. And like Saturday, he picks me up and then he says, Mom, we're going to Sky Zone. I'm like, I'm going with you because he's always like, you need to make time. And he's so right. And even though I'm sick as a dog, I still enjoyed spending Saturday. And then he took me to Love Boat Ice Cream, the new one that opened over here. And oh my gosh, I had blueberry cheesecake. I have to say, it was awesome. It was just like the best. But those moments, and my granddaughters, when we were in the truck, we kept going, we want to go get ice cream. And my son's like, we're going home, and then, we really want ice cream. And I'll never forget, we were sitting there and we were eating our ice cream. And then my granddaughter goes, Mima, aren't you glad that we worked on Daddy to come get this ice cream? And I said, yeah. And I said, it's a really great way to end our whole day, right? And she goes, It was. The ice cream's just awesome. So it's like, those are things you can't get back when you and I are sitting here working behind the computer and building our empire. I'm talking about, we can't get those times back. And I agree with you. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm just a workaholic, and it's a good trait, but a bad trait too.
It really is. I think it's just who I am, and I just
Bobby goes,
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I want to shut it off, but it's difficult. It's difficult when that's the way you're wired. Like, I will wake up at midnight. Girls know at the salon, sometimes I'm texting them at 4:30 in the morning, or I'll at 1 o'clock in the morning and think about, I'll go to text somebody and I'll be like, oh my God, Michelle, you can't be texting people at like all hours of the night, but I want to do it so that I don't forget it.
I write down. I wake up in the middle of the night and I write it down.
You should see my phone. I literally have timers set, alarms. It'll say like 9:15, 9:30, 1 o'clock, 1:15, because that way I don't miss all my calls or my appointments.
If you don't ever get to see her phone, you'll at least get to hear her phone.
Yep, you hear mine. Oh, honey, I wish you were on. He's just like, but you know what? I have to say, he is my biggest supporter. And if it wasn't for him, a lot of times I probably would have just given up. And he's pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like, the podcast is out of my comfort zone. I don't like even have my picture taken. So this has been something amazing for me, because if you know me, I could talk your head off. But if I don't know you, I'm like this, I'm just clammed up and can't talk. But if you approach me and talk to me, then you'll be like, God, I wish I never even talked to that lady. But I'm telling you, this podcast has helped me a lot, and people have helped me to like come out of my shell. I'm telling you, you should see me when I started this. I barely said 2 words, and then I would have to I had a co-host at that time that would talk to people, and I just let her keep doing it. And I thought, no, I've got to be able to do this, you know? So I'm just thankful. I'm very thankful for you coming on tonight. Now, I'm going to go over all your stuff first. So for Steel Magnolias, it's at the Veranda Shops off of 80 Palm Beach Boulevard. What information do you want to give people about the salon? How do they get there? How do they make an appointment?
So they can go onto our Facebook. They can go on steelmagsalon.com. They can call the salon 239-693-0833. We have 14 amazing people that work there, ready to take care of them. And then the matchmaking company is michelleleematchmaking.com, and the app is getrightnow.app. And we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram with all those channels. And then I did start a Balanced Light Instagram page with a wonderful girl named Ashley Gonzalez. And
this is another thing.
Yeah, well, we've been slacking lately, but we just go on here and give like positive, affirmations and positive. And I'm also on
TikTok. World breaking news right now.
Also on TikTok with Michelle Lee Matchmaking, and I've been slacking there, but I'm gonna get back to it. And I go on there and give dating tips. But yeah, I need to get more consistent, because it's just.
I noticed that.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't slack. She just has her eggs in a bunch of baskets. That's all.
I know. It's tough, because I was looking at your website earlier, and you're given you have every day that you're given a tip on there. I think you're up to number 9. And different.
Well, that is not me. I have to give all credit to my daughter, because she's kind of taken over my social media for the Michelle Lee Matchmaking, other than my TikTok channel. But she's been doing my post, and honestly, she's better than me at it. And I love it, because it just took one thing off of my plate, and she's been doing great.
Yeah, that's it. So I didn't know that you couldn't see the comments and stuff. So I just want to read a couple to you. So Tessa Greenspan said, outstanding interview. She is a gift to the world. Rachel
Oh.
Nieves. I think I said that right, Rachel. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, but great things to come. All the hard work will pay off, Michelle. Mama said, Michelle is so awesome. I'm her mom with 2 hearts. It's so cute. And let's see what else. Then we have Christina Lopez said, Miss Wendy Haynes is absolutely best. Big shout out to your mom. Looks like, Mom, your son said he loves you. And let's see what else. One of Rachel, I guess Rachel knows that book. She said, or no, that's your mom. She said it's a great book. So you have a lot of supporters out there. I can't wait to see, like, when I come to the salon, what else you're going to be doing. Maybe starting an ice cream.
Oh my God, nothing. Nothing. Literally, I have people say, can you get on with this with us? And can you get on with this? And now I've literally said, look, I absolutely cannot do anything else right now because I don't know what this app is going to bring in the future.
It's going to bring
so
good
I don't
things.
know. Yeah, I don't know what this app means to everything else. So I've literally cut my pipe for right now.
Well, as my coffee cup says, enjoy the journey, because I believe this app, I'm talking about, you're successful anyway, but I really believe, I was so excited when you told me about the app because I was just thinking, like, I want it right now. I just want it right now. And there's so many things. So if anyone tonight wants to get a hold of Michelle, they can reach you. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
For what?
For anything. So if you're looking to get your hair done, head up Steel Magnolias. If you're looking for Mr. Wright or
Rachel,
Mrs. Wright,
or call the salon. If you call the salon, Rachel or Beatrice will probably answer. Rachel is absolutely amazing, and Beatrice is a nail tech there. She's amazing. They can make you appointments.
Everyone's amazing at your place.
Yeah, they can't make appointments with me, but they can make you appointments with a lot of other great people. But
I can get an appointment with you, right?
Yes. Well, I did do your hair. I did. And you liked it, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I actually am doing hair like, not really. 2 Thursdays a month. I hate to even say it, honestly, because then I just keep getting more. But the matchmaking, you can go to michelleleematchmaking.com. And you can follow me on Facebook. There's all information on there. And then the app is also on Facebook. That's a really good way to find our links. Yeah, and I'm really good at getting back to people. Even if it's 9 o'clock at night, I get back to people.
Yeah.
No, let's rephrase that. Even at 8 o'clock at night.
8 o'clock you cut off. There's no more after 8.
Get back to you at the appropriate time the next following business day.
I will literally
but
text
you forgot,
Bobby.
there's one more place that they can find all your information, Florida Country Magazine. So they can find out information on your Get Right. You can go to
tell them to email you, and then you can email her at the next business day. Start of the next business day. Then we can start that up.
Okay. I'll see if my husband will let me do that. Maybe we can work out. Maybe I can get to work till 9. You're shut off at 8, but I can still send you text messages for the next day.
Well, if you've seen my phone, he has it outside.
Something, just a couple emojis.
Yeah. How many text messages do I have on my phone right now that are not opened?
I'm scared to even look.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that have 22,000 emails on my phone and 500 text messages.
Oh yeah, I can't do those.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Bobby. I really appreciate your good sport. I know what it's like, but you have a strong woman. You know it. I see Crystal Ward just posted your Michelle Lee making Facebook page. Thanks for doing that. So I appreciate everyone that's been on here watching this. And like I said, y'all are going to go somewhere great. Bobby, I'm glad to finally get to meet you, and I will see you soon at the salon. You or Paula, I will see you soon when I get feeling better. And I just thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for all you do for me and your support. It means a lot. It really does.
Yeah, always. And then we'll be doing an article soon on your app. So
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
get working on that. And
Yes.
if you want to read about still magnolias, you can go to Florida Country Magazine and look at the February-March issue and read her article there. And other than that, walk into the salon and get your hair done and feel good. Get your nails done, and
Yeah.
have a good night, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.